Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're having an awesome day. I hope you're enjoying the holiday season, and I greatly welcome you back as we scan over the beautiful and festive holiday runes. I welcome you back to our Christmas extravaganza video program, whatever we're calling it today. Hello, everyone. It's Roger. Of course, it's Grubus Games Unlimited. It is so nice to be back, and I'm so excited about this video. I'm excited about all of them, but I think in this one I'm gonna give you a bunch of information. Shouldn't take that long, but you can see we're doing quick edits so we can get going playing. So we're gonna chat about a few things, but I just wanted to welcome you, and it's just nice to be back. Thank you for your nice comments on the prior video and your likes. It does help out the channel. And remember, always think about subscribing, and you'll always be notified when a new video goes live. And the turn one is going to be pretty much immediately after this one. We're going to get right into playing. So let's discuss a few things. Okay, we're about to hire our mercenary Zeke over there at the mercenary camp, and we're going to do a lot of shopping here in the village that I think you are going to like and I'm looking forward to. But first, I really want to take just a little bit of time to explain a few things about the warfare types in the game, or rather, the land of Avalon. I want to do this now, as this will provide you with some great insight into the game, some strategies you may want to consider, and you'll have a very good understanding how to spec out and build your heroes when you play. This will all fall into place when we start playing in our next video. So please stick around. I think you'll truly benefit knowing what I'm about to tell you. Let's head over to our combat table and discuss this a little bit. Okay, so here is the land of Avalon, or at least as much as I could fit in. So let me go over this with you real quick. In creating Dungeon Crusade and the land of Avalon, I wanted to have 6 different warfare types. Think of these like fighting styles, like in our world. You know, there's street fighting, boxing, taekwondo, jiu-jitsu, so on and so forth. So in the land of Avalon, there's physical warfare. Think swords with physical warfare. So we'll put that there. And that's associated with the red warfare dice. All the ones you're going to see are a D12 and a D6. Okay, so another warfare type is ranged warfare. And bows, crossbows. And there's the dice associated with ranged warfare. Then there's arcane warfare. Think of these like with staffs. And of course, there's the green warfare dice associated with arcane warfare. Next up, mythical warfare. And think of daggers with that. So put that there. And there's the purple warfare dice. Then there's spiritual warfare. Think of like maces and scepters with spiritual warfare. And there's the warfare dice for that. And finally, there is chaos warfare. And think axes with chaos warfare. We'll put that right there. And there is the chaos warfare dice. So those are the 6 warfare types in Avalon. So now that I explained to you about these different warfare types, let's go over some of the monsters in the game. Now, as you may know, there's minions, champions, and guardians. Every monster and creature in Dungeon Crusade in that category is versed in 3 of the 6 warfare types. Let's look at a minion first. Here's one of our Orc Siege Breakers here. This is an elite. It has a special ability called Rampage. But notice here, on all this follows the same format for all of them. This Orc Siege Breaker is versed in physical warfare, chaos warfare, and mythical warfare. Meaning when your hero or mercenary go to fight this Orc Siege Breaker, you're going to be using these dice to roll, to fight with. Let's look at a champion monster. Here's a level 4 champion monster in Ancient Horror. Again, notice all the different warfare types, the three. It's versed in arcane warfare, spiritual warfare, and mythical warfare. Lastly, let's take a look at a guardian. Here's one of the 8 guardians in the game. No, guardians level up from 1 to level 4, according to the quest tables, as we discussed. So Red Widow here is versed in spiritual warfare, mythical warfare, and arcane warfare. Okay, now that I explained that about the monsters, hopefully I think all this will come together for you. Now, so let's take a look at Mahaliak here. He's of course level 1. Let's take a look over here at his warfare types. First of all, he's a barbarian, so he excels. He's very proficient at chaos warfare, the black dice, and physical warfare. He can add these bonuses to those dice, so he could add +3 to the chaos warfare dice when combating monsters versed in chaos warfare, and he can add +2 to physical warfare dice. But he's a barbarian, so it stands to reason he's not very proficient in arcane warfare. He's going to have to deduct 3 from those green dice because he's not proficient in it. Same with spiritual warfare. Mahaliak is not, proficient in this at all, and he's middle of the road with mythical and ranged warfare. So kind of just like us, we're good at some things, we're not good at others, we're middle of the road. And that's what I wanted to bring with Dungeon Crusade. So let me show you now, and this should all come together of what I'm going for. So this is why we're going to hire Zeke from the mercenary camp. He is going to be our mercenary. Take a look at his warfare types. It's kind of the exact opposite, and why these two are great to party together. He has to, -2 from any kind of chaos warfare roll, and -3 from physical. However, he's a wizard. He is very proficient with arcane warfare. He can add a +3. He can add a +1 to spiritual and +1 to mythical. So my point from remembering those monsters we looked at, if Mahaliak gets into a fight with some of those that are proficient in arcane warfare, spiritual warfare, it's going to be a tough battle for him, right? Because he's going to have to deduct some off those dice. However, when you party heroes together, which I'll say it again, it was paramount to have true party building in Dungeon Crusade. When you send these two in, they both can handle, any type of monster. They build on each other's weaknesses. So that's what I was going for. So I'm glad I took the time to explain this. We'll chat a little bit more, but let's move on to the next section now. But just, if anything just remember this, about you want to put heroes together, where they build on, more proficient on the warfare types that the other ones lack in. So hopefully you can see now why I say it's kind of like a thinking man's dungeon crawl game. You just can't take a hero and run through the dungeon and bust in the chambers all willy-nilly thinking you're going to kill everything. It's important to party heroes together in Dungeon Crusade. Okay, let's head over to the village, hire our merc, and do some shopping. And in the solo Crusader mode, your hero starts the game with 1,000 gold. So we're going to give that to Mahaliak. And then the villagers, of course, are very happy that, to see your hero there to save their village. And so they're going to show you how grateful they are. You're going to make a gratuity roll. You're going to take a D10 and you're going to times the result by 100. That's how much extra gold your hero is going to receive from the villagers. So let's make this gratuity roll. And he is going... Wow, they're very generous tonight. Of course, that's a 10, 1,000. So he's going to get an additional 1,000 gold. That is truly excellent. So I have some gold standing by right here. There's 1,000 gold, 2,000 gold to start with. They're going to be able to purchase a lot of awesome gear, potions, and possibly a blessing. Okay, so that's done. What we're going to do is we're going to head over to the mercenary camp and we're going to hire Zeke. So I'll meet you at the mercenary camp. Okay, and here we are at the mercenary camp. Now you might not be able to see it, but there's a little chart there. And to hire a level 1 mercenary, we're going to have to pay the mercenary camp 300 gold, which I have right here. So we'll set that aside. And we're going to hire Zeke, of course. And before we leave here, we're going to get initiative tokens 4, 5, and 6. And then I have his starting weapon and hero card and special abilities down here. So we are done, and let's get out of the mercenary camp and get back into the village. Okay, we're going to do some shopping in the village. In particular, starting off in the blacksmith shop. I want to just remind you, after you hired your mercenary, you're going to take his level 1 special ability card, since he is level 1, Zeke, and you're going to take those and just place them over here in the academy, along with your heroes, all of your hero starting abilities. So I'm going to put those there. Okay, so now we're going to browse through the common white items to see what's available. And I want to point something out for you, and again, something that is some good information. This is actually very important, so check this out. We're looking at white items here, and we'll flip through a few of them if you like. And honestly, I can't remember when I set this up what's available. And we are going to spend some time building our mercenary and our hero up. So there's some good stuff. That's actually good because it'll give us a bonus to ranged warfare. So maybe we'll get that from a Heliac. And look at this. Let me stop right here because this is awesome. So when we populated the common gear, this showed up, and I didn't know this till just now. This is a piece of fabled gear. And let me explain to you what this is. There's, when I wrote the story for Dungeon Crusade, there's a whole cast of characters. So fabled gear is outlined with this like gold trim. It does have a higher gold cost, but fabled gear is quite powerful. And it belonged to some of the characters in the story of Dungeon Crusade I wrote. Most certainly, we are going to hire this, and I don't know who to give this to yet, but when you see fabled gear show up, it's always a good idea. Just pay the extra gold and get it. So, footman's sword. I swear to you, this was randomly populated. This is the other piece of fabled gear. Mallory's training bow. Mallory is the daughter to Emperor Sylvian and his wife Ashara. Definitely buying those two pieces of fabled gear, but 600 gold. That's going to wipe out a lot of our gold, but it's good to get. Okay, there's a nice necklace, Myth of the Mind. This will give you a bonus to, or give your hero a bonus to mythical and spiritual warfare. There's some good stuff here. Ruby ring, bonus to physical warfare. Rusty dagger, mythical. Okay, we'll get more in depth with this. Oh, and there's a socket here on the fabled dagger. There's mining and crafting in Dungeon Crusade, so you can craft power gems, plug that in, and you can have a variety of different benefits. So a lot we can do here, and there's another one with a socket. But what I wanted to point out that's a very important role, that's actually going to be great from a Heliac, Troll's Tooth. Notice, here, I'm trying to get you close. See that T1? It's important. This is an important role. T1 simply stands for Tier 1. This is a Tier 1 weapon. Heroes who are level 1 can only wield, starting out, Tier 1 gear. All right? So they can't use, and actually we'll get into this real quick, like notice here on uncommon gear. This is green. We won't go through all of them, but I'll show you. Notice this says T2, meaning your hero has to be level 2 or above to wield that. Real quickly, here's rare blue items, Tier 2 again. So once our hero and mercenary hit level 2, we'll be able to have a really huge section here to spec them out. Finally, moving up to epic gear. Notice it says T3, it's purple, and then finally legendary. And it's good we're doing this because look what showed up. And I swear this was randomly populated, but there's that T3 again. This is one of the most powerful weapons of the game. It's fabled gear, and it belonged to Emperor Sylvian. Emperor Sylvian's battle sword. Yeah, 2,000 gold, but look at this. +4 damage, +5 to all your physical warfare roles, spiritual warfare roles, mythical warfare roles, and chaos warfare roles. This thing is totally kick butt. I would love to open up a treasure chest and find a bunch of gold, because we would definitely pick this up. So just remember that about the T3, tier 3, tier 2, tier 1. But I wanted to spend some time and show you that. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of this common gear and see what we can spec out our mercenary and hero with. Okay, we're about to browse through the gear, but I want to let you know something. I absolutely love spec'ing out my heroes, building them up, in Dungeon Crusade, but any other kind of game like this, like Diablo or Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim, Dark Souls. I spend a lot of time doing this. I'm not going to spend that much time doing this because I don't want to keep you, but just know, we're going to discuss some things. We're going to look at hero cards, and I hope you like this, and I think more will click going over this. So right now, and I'll try to put the gold here that we have 1,700 gold. And how much is that Troll's Tooth? That Troll's Tooth necklace is 200 gold. It's going to give us a bonus to physical and chaos warfare rolls. But what I'm concerned with first, and like I said, it's going to be like 1,200 gold. Mallory's training bow and Luke's training sword. So this is really good stuff. And usually weapons only do 1 damage at level 1. Well, these things do +2. Plus, they give you these bonuses to, spiritual and ranged and physical and chaos. So even though they're both 600, I definitely think we're going to get these and maybe give 1 to each of, to the hero, to Mahaliak and Zeke. So I'm going to grab that. It's going to eat up a lot of our gold. We'll pay that to the blacksmith. Let's put that right there. Okay, so there's 1,200. So we're really set right now. We're going to be able to do a lot of damage to monsters with what we have. We have 500 gold left. I really would like to get this Troll's Tooth necklace and a few other things, but I'd also like to get a few healing potions and a blessing in that. So I think, again, there's nothing that's 100 gold in here. So let's just do this. Let's move our party over here. You don't have to do this. I'm just being thematic because I love this stuff. So we're at the bazaar. And what I think we're going to do is this. When we're in the dungeon, there's a lot of treasure chests. We're going to open a few, hopefully find some gold. We'll send Albus back to the village and pick up more gear. Okay? So we're going to buy a few potions. We're going to buy 2. 1 for Mahaliak, 1 for Zeke. And these right on the back, I thought when I was putting all this together, you just flip them over and it says exactly what it does. So healing potions, a hero will regain 6 health when consumed. So we owe the bazaar 200. And then what we're going to do is come over here to the temple to the south. And blessings are 200. And I definitely want to show you blessings. So let's pay the 200 to the temple. And I'm going to shuffle this here. Know something about me. I play fair and square. So we're just going to shuffle these up. And you cannot, and it's good because I can explain this to you. Heroes are allowed to have 1 blessing. Okay? You cannot share a blessing. There could be despair, meaning your prayers weren't answered. It's this black cloud. Nothing's going to happen. And I put some sad writing on there to make it even worse that that you didn't receive a blessing. However, there are many angels in this game. I wanted to have angels in the game with some cool light armor. Freddie Lopez painted these. They're amazing. And the angels will give your heroes some really good bonuses. So I'm hoping we're going to get a blessing and we're going to receive an angel that will follow one of our heroes, our merc. And so we're going to purchase a blessing. Here's the thing, you're not allowed to reveal this. When our heroes go into the dungeon, they can reveal what blessing if they have one. So I'm just going to take this, put it in our player area, not look at it, I promise. But we'll give it to, let's give it to Zeke. Okay, so Zeke will have that blessing. And we have 100 gold left, and I think that finishes up our shopping phase. So I hope that you enjoyed going over this. I hope you learned a lot from this. And you know what we'll do for the heck of it? You know what we're gonna do? Let's take this 100 gold, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy an elixir. Because in Dungeon Crusade there are, hold on, there are afflictions. There's 6 different afflictions. They go from, this is a mythical affliction, feared. Your hero's going to lose 2 to their base movement, but then they can get 2nd degree afflictions. How do you cure afflictions? Consume an elixir. So just in case, we're going to get an elixir for a backup, and all our gold is gone, and we are done shopping. Okay, everyone, we're going to get dark here. So if you have some small children, you may want them to leave the room, because I'm not in for scaring kids on Christmas, okay? Cue the scary music. Thank you. What you're looking at here, guys, are underworld artifacts. These are black level weapons. There's no gold cost here. The blacksmith will never sell these. And notice there's no tier. Any level hero can wield one of these. The only way for your hero or mercenary to obtain an underworld artifact is on a monster drop or a treasure chest. These are the most deadly and powerful weapons in all of Avalon, not just towards monsters, but also your heroes. You see, a hero must feed an underworld artifact life force to power it up before they can use it. And there's a chance it could consume your hero's soul, killing them or her in the process. Your hero must make what is called a fate roll. Notice there's a 13 in a skull. You have to make a fate roll to see if they succeeded or failed in charging up the underworld artifact. If you fail the fate roll, you guessed it, the underworld artifact has consumed your hero's soul. These are very controversial weapons in the game, and we'll discuss these more into our playthrough, but do think about this. Would you risk your hero's life in order to wield a super powerful evil weapon? Let me know in the comments. Okay, you can let the kids back in and turn off the scary music. Turn it off, Jay. Kids are already frightened from this. Okay, and we are back here with our hero Mahaliak, our mercenary Zeke, and of course Albus, our fetch hound. And they are about to head out of the village into the dungeon, but I did want to show you, let me adjust this camera, this is kind of how I have them spec'd out. I gave Mahaliak Mallory's golden bow, and of course this is his starting weapon. It's a gray colored weapon. That means starting weapon. His primordial axe, healing potion, so that's where he's at. And then moving over here was Zeke. I gave him Luke's training sword, and again we could buff up the physical and chaos with this, and that's his starting weapon, oak staff. He has his blessing, and he has the elixir in case one of them needs it, and the healing potion. So but we may switch this back over, because you know, if we give Mahaliak Luke's training sword, you know, he could bolster even more his physical and chaos. So I don't know, we'll see how we do, but they could always switch weapons. All right, let me show you where you place your hero, mercenary, and Albus in the dungeon, and we're gonna wrap up this video. See you in a second. Okay, and Mahaliak, Zeke, and Albus have moved into the dungeon. This is known as the siege tile, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny like white dotted line, and that's where you place your party of heroes within that starting out. So you can place them, you know, anywhere you want. I just had started them like this. Okay, so guess what? We're ready to play. Let me pull the camera back. We're going to wrap all this up. I have a few things to say, and let's get to playing Dungeon Crusade, the solo Crusader mode. Okay, all, and this wraps up this video, and I hope that you enjoyed this and you're definitely more acclimated to the game now. I think this video turned out really good, and we touched on a lot of key features in the game. So when you get to playing, and definitely when we start playing in our next video, I think a lot of things will, click for you. So just to go over again what our plan is when we start playing, because this is an open world dungeon crawl game. You can go where you want, do what you want, but just as a reminder, we're going to head south here because our heroes are just up there in the siege tile. We're going to check out this room that was populated during the seeding process with a level 1 monster and a crate. So we'll break this crate open, see what's in there, and then we're going to have one of our heroes try to discover the secret room and hopefully find a treasure chamber. And then from there, we're going to head up to the spider lair and try to locate that onyx key that Baron Whitmore told us about that will open the chamber doors in the ancient depths. And we're going to try to locate his sparkling cherry jubilee wine. So let's see if we can just do this, pick up. So once we find the onyx key, we're going to head south again and be in the ancient depths. And remember those doors with the red bases. The onyx key will open these chamber doors and we can look for the wine. And then remember our side quest here. Try to move this. In the Tomb of St. Viticus, north and south, we have to clear these chambers out for that young captain of the Avalon Valiant army. But just know we're going to be doing a lot of other things too. Who knows what will happen with the encounter deck. Our heroes could be teleported all the way up there into the halls of the dead, east and west. We're going to open some treasure chests. We're going to do some mining and crafting. So we're going to have a really good time with this. And I'm really looking forward to this. I hope everyone has a great day. And I'm going to shoot turn 1 right now, so it should be up very quick for you. And for that matter, all of the following videos should be up a lot quicker because we covered everything we did. So now it's just a matter of playing the game. And again, I'm just looking forward to hanging out with you and see what happens in the dungeon. And just as always, thank you so much for your time, interest, love, excitement, and support. I hope you know I'm sincerely grateful to you. And so I will be back very soon with you. Enjoy the holidays, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Bye-bye.